Once again, we're back with another exciting episode.
That's right. We get to follow along as our top 3 competitors visited the booths of 2 of our robotic ecosystem partners for interactive demos at FabTech. The first booth they visited is PushCorp, a leading robotic end-of-arm tooling manufacturer for automated abrasive processing. Let's take a look.
During the Teach a Robot event, we are going to be showing all of our PushCorp equipment to the students to help them see that there is a possibility to fast-track careers right out of high school into an automation career. Well, guys, congratulations on your victories here. So what we're going to talk about here is a little bit about automated grinding equipment. So at PushCorp, we make force compliance devices, servo spindles, and the whole idea here is grinding is tough, dirty work, right? So if you can manually weld your parts and pass them off to a robot and have it do all that hard, dirty work, it's going to save your shoulders, can save your arms. You guys get to keep welding, making more parts, and the robot gets to do the dirty work. So the whole idea here is our force compliance device can compensate for the amount of force. So if you think about it, this is like the marriage between a kitchen scale and cruise control in your car, right? PushCorp is a 30-year-old robotic material finishing company. So we started with making automatic force devices back in 1993. And since then, we've grown to be a world leader in all things material removal for automation. Essentially, I tell everybody we're in subtractive manufacturing. So imagine you're grinding around the surface here, right? You got this weld you're trying to blend out. As you're welding around, that gravity affects on the bearings differently. So one of the things that we have in here is called an accelerometer. It's a sensor. So that force is consistent what orientation it's in, right? So it'll do the same thing all the time. Having somebody with the expertise and the automation experience to be able to go in there and program these robots, keep these lines running, really bring the next industrial revolution forward to this Industry 4.0. This incoming workforce is going to be critical for that to happen. Having grinding knowledge, it is much easier to take somebody that understands the art of grinding, the art of cutting, and teaching them to program a robot. So now what you've got a technical, aspect to your career, and you can really fast track out of there, right? You can come right out of a tech school, go into robotics, and hit the road running. So I think the future of robotics automation is really going to rely a lot on AI component that everybody's talking about, robots that can program themselves, put a new part in front of it, it automatically scans it, creates a 3D model itself. The robot software creates its own program, but also devices like ours that can automatically adjust the force and do all these things that people do today with wrists and elbows and knees without abusing their bodies. We're going to do that with a robot.
So here, we're not actually pushing into the part, but we're kind of simulating where active compliance would work really well. You can see as it's changing orientation, if you think of you're doing an orbital sanding on the bottom, you got to push up a little harder to get the same force. As it's going around these angles, it's changing its air pressure to maintain a constant force to get repeatable results.
So we've been partners with 3M for about our whole entire existence, 30 years now. We've worked with 3M on several automation projects at customers, but also 3M uses a lot of our equipment within their internal processes and labs up in Minnesota and different demonstration labs around the world. So we're very proud of this relationship. It's one that has served both companies very well, and most of our customers probably couldn't do what they do today if it wasn't for this relationship.
It just sliced off the sanding disc, and so it's showing that we can do an automatic change. So there's a big old cartridge of sanding discs in there, so it's pushing up into the disc. The sander would be like a random orbital sander. The other side is kind of like a right angle grinder that you'd have a fiber disc or a flap disc on.
3M has got so many different layers to its business between sandpaper, abrasives, tapes, different things. All these things are going to be automated in the future. Tape laying, sanding, polishing, buffing, all these things are going to tie into, and really everything that we kind of dreamed about doing 15 years in the next 5 to 10 are going to become reality. And it's going to be that partnership that really pushes things forward.
PushCorp is doing so many cool things. I know the top 3 had a fun time in their booth.
That's right. We have a fantastic relationship with PushCorp, and they have an exciting announcement in an upcoming episode.
The top 3 also had a chance to visit another booth.
They sure did. Our first place scholarship sponsor, Fanuc, was generous enough to invite the top 3 to their booth where they did another interactive demo. But this time, they were able to teach a robot how to weld. Let's check it out.
So Fanuc is the world's leader in industrial automation. Really every industry involved in manufacturing, Fanuc plays a role in that. Material joining is what's being showcased here, but there's a whole world of applications for robotics and automation in manufacturing, in logistics, in supply chain, in the food and beverage, in the pharmaceutical and the medical industry. You name it, we're involved in it.
I think it was a Bloomberg article said we're the Microsoft you've never heard of. So if you're not in automation, you're not in robotics, you wouldn't know who Fanuc is. But certainly if you're in manufacturing, in industry, Fanuc is a well-known name. So there isn't much that isn't touched or manufactured by a Fanuc product or a Fanuc robot.
So you're going to learn a little bit about just how to quickly program a robot. But welding, I know you've been doing a lot of grinding, a lot of material removal. So the welding is just the welder on the end of arm of the robot. It could be a grinder, it could be a sander, it could be a polisher. All the things that you're learning about all the materials and removing, you're going to learn a little bit about robotic programming because they can go hand in hand. Fanuc is unique. We have tremendous relationships with customers that make products for the general industry, for other industries, for consumer products. And 3M is just an exceptional customer and a partner with Fanuc, where we're doing development on technology on how to take all of your abrasives and polishing and cutting and grinding tools and end-of-arm products and how those get automated and used in industry.
3M is a great partner for us in the abrasives market for material removal applications. When you get down to the nitty-gritty, 3M it really is the best at those applications, and Fanuc is a leader in robotics, so pairing the two of those together is a good match. So the thing about a collaborative robot is it's a speed and force limited robot. So it's made to work in conjunction or collaboration to help augment the work that you're doing. You work hard, but sometimes it would be nice to have an extra hand. Well, this robot is your extra hand in this instance.
So as manufacturers are expanding and growing and developing, their number one concern is workforce. Where are we going to find people that understand how to use all of this technology that we're producing mutually? So part of our role and what we've been doing is going out and partnering with schools to put real industrial technology into the classroom to create experiences. And it's that experiential learning that kind of opens the eyes of students to what may be, what careers are out there, what opportunities are out there. And we can't do it alone. That's why it's great to have partners like 3M that are really engaged in this as well, that understand that we have to inspire the next generation. We always say the next automation generation, because things are becoming more and more automated.
I think one of the biggest influencers for young people is exposure, to be able to see something and get their hands on it. I think there's kind of a barrier to entry that a lot of students might see a robot and go, I'm not really good at math, that's probably too high tech. And then when they actually get their hands on it and you explain to them and show them how easy it is, that it's not that difficult, it kind of takes away that barrier to entry or that fear factor for them. So I wanted to show the students, hey, you can jump right in here within a short, quick tutorial. You can jump on and be programming an industrial robot. And they really knocked it out of the park. Within 5 minutes, they went from our first little instructional tutorial to them actually performing a simulated arc weld. So what's nice about this robot, instead of teaching it the old-fashioned way using a teach pendant, we have this new style tablet PC or tablet teach pendant. where we can use this to teach the robot. It's got icon-based positions, so this is like a straight move, that's like a circular move, joint move. Then you can add in like weld start, weld stop instructions. It also has hand teaching, which is a really nice feature. So this allows you to actually freely move the robot just by coming up with and moving it by hand.
So we used to hold all of our technology very close to our vest. And about 12 years ago, we said, nope, we are going to partner with schools. We're going to give them the latest and greatest technology, the curriculum. We're going to train and certify the instructors to teach that so that we're aligned with industry's talent needs. So if we can help produce the next generation so that they can come right out of school with the skills they need to enter into the workforce, we've made a big impact. And it also is changing the value proposition of education. It's not a straight path anymore. So now we could show students in high school can get skills and credentials to enter the workforce. They can learn and earn, get their education paid for by their employer at the pace that they want to go on.
So what we basically are going to do is we'll move the robot down, and we'll just kind of do like a 3-inch weld right in the middle. That's what the task will be. So the first step though is we want to maybe move the robot above the workpiece, and then I've got a teach and a jog button, so I'll just hit the teach button and it records the first point. Come down further, I'll go ahead and make sure I got a good torch angle, and I'll hit the teach button again, move the robot to another location. And it's okay that I came up off of it. It's not following the exact path that I'm teaching. It's just showing from point to point. The core of this country, and really a lot of countries, was manufacturing. It's putting in hard work and putting in those times. And there's a lot of times where some students aren't maybe necessarily college bound, but they can get a good high paying career in welding, in CNC machining, in robotics, in being an electrician, a plumber. Those are great jobs, and there's a desperate need for that. And it's really important for us to compete globally as a country. As labor markets improve in other countries, we're going to be competing using technology for those manufacturing opportunities.
Now we're going to turn to a 3M expert to talk robotics and automation, Carl Duken. Carl, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thanks, Katie.
Why don't you tell us your thoughts on the future of robotics and automation?
One of my favorite subjects, of course. For us at 3M, definitely the future of robotics and automation involves a lot of new applications. In the world of robotics, it's really dominated just by 2 or 3 mainstream applications: arc welding, pick and place, assembly, maybe spraying of paint, and those types of applications. What we're talking about at 3M, of course, is robotic grinding, polishing, finishing, sanding, deburring. Our colleagues around the company too are talking about the dispensing of structural adhesives or applying tape and those types of applications. So where 3M holds the strong domain expertise, that's really where we're going to be helping customers the most. And of course, our colleagues in manufacturing and supply chain continue to automate our own 3M supply chains to the benefit of our customers.
Carl, can you tell us a little bit more about 3M's role in the advancement of robotics and automation?
Yeah, absolutely. I think 3M might comes from a very special spot. I believe to this day we have about 240 factories around the world. So we have a lot of robots installed in our plants, and our teams around the world know quite a bit about robotics and automation and where it fits in a manufacturing environment. And really the program that we've been driving is taking that expertise that we have, 3M, when it comes to automation, combining that with the domain expertise around key applications like deburring, grinding, sanding, polishing, Sometimes dispensing structural adhesives, applying tape or films, 3M's really good at that. And that's where, really the rubber hits the road for our customers.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Carl. We really appreciate your time.
Anytime.
Thank you, Carl. To learn more about how 3M is leading in the robotics and automation space, scan the QR code or click the link in the description. And now we're going to hear more about robotics and automation from Robert Hushka, Vice President for Education Strategies for A3, the Association for Advancing Automation. We have him here joining us virtually. Welcome, Robert.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
You're here to talk about A3. Would you tell us about it?
So the Association for Advancing Automation is a global trade association representing more than 1,200 members in robotics, vision and imaging, motion control, and motors, as well as AI and other advanced automation technologies. A3, firmly believes that the industry is going to continue to need to embed advanced robotics and automation training into the skills trades fields. Automation technology is going to work hand in hand to improve quality of our manufacturing processes, but also the working conditions of our manufacturing employees. So, as manufacturing advances are made in automation, skilled trade workers are going to need to be key participants in this, right? In the use and understanding of robotics and automation. They're going to need to be side by side helping guide and deploy these advances that are crucial to their facilities' everyday operations. And also along that same note, their subject matter expertise, right? The expertise these skilled trade workers bring to the table every day is going to need to be baked into our advanced manufacturing processes. We can't make these advances without them.
What is A3 doing to help ensure the skilled tradespeople of tomorrow are prepared for the changes that will no doubt take place over the span of their careers?
So as I mentioned earlier, A3 is heavily involved in education and training programs. We're working alongside our education industry members to better understand what their needs are, what are the latest trends, what's the future of robotics and automation. As we move forward, A3 puts on a variety of industry-leading trade shows and conferences, including our big Automate show, which is in Chicago in 2024, that help workers begin to understand how to put robotics and automation to work in their operations. We offer a variety of training courses. We offer a robot safety training course, both for collaborative, traditional industrial robots and mobile robots. We have certification programs in machine vision and motion control. These programs are designed to help upskill workers, move them forward in their careers, giving them the abilities, again, to take that trade skill knowledge and apply it to advanced manufacturing challenges. We're also working directly with educators and educational institutions to give them the tools they need to train our workers of tomorrow. We're developing an industrial robot safety training curriculum that teachers will be able to use directly in their classrooms. That should be finished by the end of the year. We're also prototyping educator boot camps, which will bring in teachers, school administrators, and school counselors to give them a better understanding of how to teach these technologies, robotics, automation, advanced manufacturing, in their classrooms and integrate them into their skills trade training programs. We're also working, the hottest topic today is, of course, artificial intelligence. We're working on an intro to artificial intelligence course that will help people who are already involved in manufacturing understand how to put AI to use in their operations. This is going to be critically important. There aren't enough AI professionals to go around for all the needs we're going to have. And really, the way to train a smart AI is to feed it data, to feed it intelligence. That intelligence exists within our skilled trade workers, and we need to empower them to take advantage of these latest technologies.
Sounds quite comprehensive. If people want to learn more about A3 and all of those programs that you just mentioned, what should they do?
So I would encourage you to head over to our website, automate.org. It doesn't just talk about A3. It really is a portal to understanding all types of automation technologies. If you want to dig in, I know we're talking about clash of the grinders here today. If you want to dig into grinding and abrasive technologies, huge sections of our website are devoted to that. But also all of the training programs I mentioned are available for access there, as well as our industry-leading events. And if you're interested in going to our signature trade show, Automate, head over to automateshow.com. Registration for that is open today.
Well, thank you so much for all of that information and for joining us today. We really appreciate it. It was nice meeting you.
Thank you, Robert.
A pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
I can't believe it. This all went so fast.
I know. It seems like it just started.
Is it really the final round next time?
Yes, it is.
I'm nervous.
Me too. In the final round, the students were judged on their weld grinding and finishing skills. We'll have Tyler Natz, 3M's Global Application Engineer, join us to talk about 3M Cubitron 3 fiber discs.
And 3M Portfolio Manager Mackenzie Walden will be here to talk more about Scotch-Brite.
Yes, the students used the Scotch-Brite Precision Surface Conditioning Disc for the finishing portion of the final challenge. Plus, we'll spotlight our first place $10,000 scholarship prize sponsor, Fanuc, and the second place $5,000 scholarship prize sponsor, Surface Prep.
So generous. I can't wait to learn more about them.
Me too. So please, join us next time when we finally find out who was crowned the winner of the Clash of the Grinders Student Edition. And in the meantime, scan the QR code on your screen to learn more about 3M's newest innovation in industrial abrasives by signing up for insider emails.